Thank you for tuning in and taking a look at my pre-launch campaign for the Comics coloring book. There's going to be various artists on it. I'm the main artist, but some of the other artists are John Gillard, George Peter Gatsis, Eric Scott Hawkins, Fly Fox Pro, and as well a few others. So sign up. Let me know that you're interested. Who knows what goodies you might get for signing up. I'm always known for giving out extra little goodies. So, bye for now. God bless. Have a great day.
My code name, it was Cluster. And I was a superhero for the U.S. government for over 40 years before I retired about a decade back. I did a lot of great things for this nation. I also did a lot of not so great things. I don't think I was playing by the same rules as most of you out there. Still, I was afforded the blessing of a wonderful retirement with the most beautiful woman I had ever known. Everything was perfect until the doctors diagnosed her with stage 4 cancer. Despite their promises, death was on a deadline, and my baby was gone. From there, my life fell to pieces. As I rejected my children and embraced the dark underside of my soul, I spiraled into a dark and demonic depression. It was so bad I was suicidal, but no matter how hard I tried, I could do nothing to harm myself. My power wouldn't let me. I had to exhaust my power before I could be vulnerable. In order to summon the power, I had to trick my mind into releasing it by doing something that stimulates my adrenaline flowing in the proper way. I have to do something heroic. The power seems to know my intentions. I can accept no low-hanging fruit. If this is my very last adventure, I must find someone so evil that I drain every drop of this power so I can finally kill myself and join my beloved in eternal rest. Now you have an idea about who and what I am. Will you help me get to the finish line?
No, sir. We are here to prevent suicides, not assist them.
Well, you can tell your goddamn manager that I think that's false fucking advertising.
Sir, if you tell me your name and address, I can get the help you need.
My name is Fuck Yourself, and I'm living in hell, asshole.
you for tuning in and taking a look at my pre-launch campaign for the comics coloring book. There's going to be various artists on it. I'm the main artist, but some of the other artists are John Gillard, George Peter Gatsis, Eric Scott Hawkins, Fly Fox Pro, and as well a few others. So sign up. Let me know that you're interested. Who knows what goodies you might get for signing up. I'm always known for giving out extra little goodies. So, bye for now. God bless. Have a great day.
My code name, it was Cluster. And I was a superhero for the U.S. government for over 40 years before I retired about a decade back. I did a lot of great things for this nation. I also did a lot of not so great things. I don't think I was playing by the same rules as most of you out there. Still, I was afforded the blessing of a wonderful retirement with the most beautiful woman I had ever known. Everything was perfect until the doctors diagnosed her with stage 4 cancer. Despite their promises, death was on a deadline, and my baby was gone. From there, my life fell to pieces. As I rejected my children and embraced the dark underside of my soul, I spiraled into a dark and demonic depression. It was so bad I was suicidal, but no matter how hard I tried, I could do nothing to harm myself. My power wouldn't let me. I had to exhaust my power before I could be vulnerable. But in order to summon the power, I had to trick my mind into releasing it by doing something that stimulates my adrenaline flowing in the proper way. I have to do something heroic. The power seems to know my intentions. I can accept no low-hanging fruit. If this is my very last adventure, I must find someone so evil that I drain every drop of this power so I can finally kill myself and join my beloved in eternal rest. Now you have an idea about who and what I am. Will you help me get to the finish line?
No, sir. We are here to prevent suicides, not assist them.
Well, you can tell your goddamn manager that I think that's false fucking advertising.
Sir, if you tell me your name and address, I can get the help you need.
My name is Fuck Yourself, and I'm living in hell, asshole.
Thank you for tuning in and taking a look at my pre-launch campaign for the comics coloring book. There's going to be various artists on it. I'm the main artist, but some of the other artists are John Gillard, George Peter Thank you for tuning in and taking a look at my pre-launch campaign for the comics coloring book. There's going to be various artists on it. I'm the main artist, but some of the other artists are John Dillard, George Peter Gatsis, Eric Scott Hawkins, Fly Fox Pro, and as well a few others. So sign up. Let me know that you're interested. Who knows what goodies you might get for signing up. I'm always known for giving out extra little goodies. So, bye for now. God bless. Have a great day.
My code name, it was Cluster. And I was a superhero for the U.S. government for over 40 years before I retired about a decade back. I did a lot of great things for this nation. I also did a lot of not so great things. I don't think I was playing by the same rules as most of you out there. Still, I was afforded the blessing of a wonderful retirement with the most beautiful woman I had ever known. Everything was perfect until the doctors diagnosed her with stage 4 cancer. Despite their promises, death was on a deadline, and my baby was gone. From there, my life fell to pieces. As I rejected my children and embraced the dark underside of my soul, I spiraled into a dark and demonic depression. It was so bad I was suicidal, but no matter how hard I tried, I could do nothing to harm myself. My power wouldn't let me. I had to exhaust my power before I could be vulnerable. But in order to summon the power, I had to trick my mind into releasing it by doing something that stimulates my adrenaline flowing in the proper way. I had to do something heroic. The power seems to know my intentions. I can accept no low-hanging fruit. If this is my very last adventure, I must find someone so evil that I drain every drop of this power so I can finally kill myself and join my beloved in eternal rest. Now you have an idea about who and what I am. Will you help me get to the finish line?
No, sir. We are here to prevent suicides, not assist them.
Well, you can tell your goddamn manager that I think that's false fucking advertising.
Sir, if you tell me your name and address, I can get the help you need.
My name is Fuck Yourself, and I'm living in hell, asshole.
Red Raygun Limited presents
The Benji and Nick Show. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Good day.
Good evening.
Good night.
Good sir night.
Good brick.
Good muns.
Goodness.
Loch Ness, you shocked yourself there. Did you say good brick?
Yeah, I just looked over and saw a wall, and funnily enough, there's not a single brick in that wall. But it's stone.
Thank you for tuning in and taking a look at my pre-launch campaign for the comics coloring book. There's going to be various artists on it. I'm the main artist, but some of the other artists are John Gillard, George Peter Gatsis, Eric Scott Hawkins, Fly Fox Pro, and as well a few others. So sign up. Let me know that you're interested. Who knows what goodies you might get for signing up. I'm always known for giving out extra little goodies. So, bye for now. God bless. Have a great day.
My code name, it was Cluster. And I was a superhero for the U.S. government for over 40 years before I retired about a decade back. I did a lot of great things for this nation. I also did a lot of not-so-great things. I don't think I was playing by the same rules as most of you out there. Still, I was afforded the blessing of a wonderful retirement with the most beautiful woman I had ever known. Everything was perfect until the doctors diagnosed her with stage 4 cancer. Despite their promises, death was on a deadline, and my baby was gone. From there, my life fell to pieces. As I rejected my children and embraced the dark underside of my soul, I spiraled into a dark and demonic depression. It was so bad I was suicidal, but no matter how hard I tried, I could do nothing to harm myself. My power wouldn't let me. I had to exhaust my power before I could be vulnerable. But in order to summon the power, I had to trick my mind into releasing it by doing something that stimulates my adrenaline flowing in the proper way. I have to do something heroic. The power seems to know my intentions. I can accept no low-hanging fruit. If this is my very last adventure, I must find someone so evil that I drain every drop of this power so I can finally kill myself and join my beloved in eternal rest. Now you have an idea about who and what I am. Will you help me get to the finish line?
No, sir. We are here to prevent suicides, not assist them.
Well, you can tell your goddamn manager that I think that's false fucking advertising.
Sir, if you tell me your name and address, I can get the help you need.
My name is Fuck Yourself, and I'm living in hell, asshole.
Oh my gosh, it's like 8:10 almost.
It is.
Wow.
It's 7:10 where I am, so I'm an hour behind you.
Diana, you're late.
Well, look who's talking.
But no, I'm not. I'm not late at all. What are you talking about?
It's 8:10. Where have you been?
I've been here waiting for you to let me in.
I've been working on the side.
Oh yeah, I bet you have.
I
Yeah.
have. I made a
Uh-huh.
very impressive slide for tonight.
Well, that's nice.
I
I just posted about 5 different Facebook pages for comic books to invite everybody in.
That's very kind of you.
Mm-hmm.
So is my audio still working? I just switched to a headphone setup.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
And my other mic isn't plugged in. I remember to unplug it tonight.
Okay.
So do you want to? Yeah. We did God Chat Monday night, and for the first 5 minutes, we're like, I can't hear you, Diana. I can't hear you. I don't know what's up. And she couldn't hear me, and it was weird. And go down and find out she had another headset plugged in to the computer, not the one she was using.
Yeah. So that's why I couldn't hear anything. It was funny, actually.
Yeah.
So we have to stay motivated. So, like, let me show you guys this first. So the intention of the Hero Shack Chronicles show is to shill our own book, and that is Cluster Fudge. Right now we sit at 9 backers, $95. The goal is $500. 19% has been fulfilled, and we need to get that number up. So if you're watching this, and it's between it's March 3rd, between the hours of 8 and probably 9:30ish.
Mm-hmm.
If you order the comic book, and I do mean the physical copy, not the PDF, unfortunately, because that would incur other things. But if you order the comic or any combination above it, we will include. Watch this. You ready? I'm gonna show the secret thing. Hang on. I made
The secret thing.
well, I made a slide. So here we go. I'm trying to be
Okay.
slick.
I know you are. You're doing good.
Ooh, look at that.
Woohoo! You
So,
made
yeah.
a slide.
If you place an order tonight during the show, and we will check the page from time to time, just so we can celebrate if somebody does order.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you'll
Without
get a free.
doxing.
Yes, without doxing, we'll get a free. We'll
Thought
give you
I'd
a
add
free 1117 print of from the Cluster Fudge collection. So these are just 3 that I have currently printed out, and you're going to have a hard time seeing them because of the green screen effect. But rest assured, this is an 1117 of the 2-page spread. One of the 2-page spreads featured in the actual comic book. This is an 1117 print of the cover, which actually there is a variable. The art cover is red, and the comic book one has a green hue in the background instead of the red. And of course, this is an 1117 of the front page, which some of you might recognize if you've seen us pushing it. So yeah, if we get orders during the show, we will include one of those in the package coming to you with your book. And that's really why we're not including the PDF people, because we don't have a package going to them.
Right.
And like I pointed out to Diana, we could get an international order on a PDF and then have to spend the PDF is $5. We'd have to spend possibly 10 to get it overseas.
Yeah, it'd be kind of crazy.
I can't really do that, but it's easy to add it with a book order. You know what I mean? That's something we can do.
I'm sorry, Gracie. I know you want this.
So yeah, among other things, what else do we want to talk about tonight, my love?
That would be my cat, my daughter's cat. She's very annoying.
You got to get her down because her butthole is almost in the camera. That was almost inappropriate. It was this close, honey.
I can't help it. She's ridiculous, you guys.
She's still messing around too.
She is awful. Look at her.
She's a beautiful cat. Yes.
She is. She just wants love from Grammy over here. Hi. All right. Go away.
Yeah, I just realized we are live, so I can take that down.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I made this as like a little reminder for myself.
What's that?
Hang on.
Okay.
All right, I'll show you now. Let's see. Well, not that one. This one.
She's back.
Let's talk about these principles real quick. Can we do that?
Yes, we can.
All right. So I'm not a prude, um, but I have a level of disdain for certain things. I have no problem with mature comics. In fact, our newest release, Cluster Fudge, I would call a rated R entertainment
Mhm.
experience.
Absolutely.
Okay.
However, two things that I really can't get involved in for a multitude of reasons. Number one is porn comics, because frankly, if I want to see sex, I'm not going to go look at somebody's poorly rendered art of sex. I'm going to go.
Yeah.
What do they even do these days? I guess you'd look it up on the web. You don't go to like a porn shop. But
No.
anyways, I don't do the porn comics, and I especially don't play around with this lolly shit. Forgive my language, but it has become an issue in the circle of people that I commonly frequent in the comic book world.
Hmm.
So I want. Wow, listen to that echo. Did you hear that?
Yeah, that was weird.
That was kind of cool. That was my own voice.
I know. Oh my god.
I'm getting sidetracked though.
Go
It's
ahead,
easy to
keep going.
distract me. Just echo my voice at me and I lose it.
I know.
But the lolly stuff has come up and it's torn apart my circle of, let me say this so my wife won't correct me, online acquaintances.
Yes.
Some who I believe extend into a friendship, but I am fully aware that I often amplify and project onto people what I wish was. And I wish that everybody was friends. And that's probably why I get so torn up in these things. But essentially, it's been put forward that one of the creators that touches a circle that I'm involved in is basically making some pretty disgusting comics, in my opinion.
Okay.
And that kind of puts it so that I really feel the need to let everybody know that shit ain't us. We are not a lolly supporting creator. And it's upsetting because, like I tried to explain to one of the guys today, even though it's my problem to deal with, I see you all as friends. And I can't help it. I compartmentalize people with experiences. For instance, when I think of the New Jersey convention, I think of Phil, Chris, and Jay.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember anybody else. Even Joe Stanton takes a back seat. I remember those three guys. They're assigned to that compartment. And right now, more than ever, the group that I had in this little compartment in my head when CGTM started and I drew the logo for Preston and everybody was all meshing well and seemed like a good community, I still have that imprint here. So people that I've assigned as friends, not only to me, but each other,
Hmm.
are shocking the crap out of me.
Mm.
Okay. So to be clear, I do approve of every creator's right to create whatever the heck they want to create within the legal realm of whatever you can get away with, I guess. But with that said, if you're going to choose to make a porn comic or you're going to do lolly, number one, I won't support it. I won't back it. I won't promote it. And if asked, I'll definitely say, that's a piece of crap. Don't let your kids touch it.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? It's not something that I want to play with. And I've experienced this before in social networking and stuff, the kind of stuff that makes my skin cringe. And I honestly, I've seen the artwork for the comic in question, the book that's being
Hmm.
built,
Yeah.
and it was seriously repulsive. Not because it was porn, because it definitely had porn elements. You know, there was oral sex and contact and nudity, but because of the apparent modeling of the characters. So to understand what I'm talking about, they use a 3D modeler, a computer program to make their characters.
Hmm.
Now, that alone to me is like, okay, I don't want to see this. This is garbage. I don't like 3D rendered art. Understanding though, I understand that's probably going to become the wave of the future eventually. I'm being a little traditionalist. I want my iPad. But the renderings. If I showed you the actual pictures, Diana, I
Yeah.
think you would be enraged. It's that graphic and it's that weird.
Well, yeah, when you talk about when you're putting it like that,
I don't even
it's
know how it's
very
legal. Can I
realistic
be public and honest about that?
because it's
I
a
understand there's a
gender.
loophole in the law or something,
Hmm.
but to me, I looked at it and I was like, "Oh my god, it's middle school porn." Like that was my thought. These girls they looked like they were just entering puberty, and they were not playing hopscotch. So I just think that it's important that we say something very specific, so there's no mistaking.
Hmm.
I think the free market ought to deal with somebody like that, not necessarily a cancel mob or an attempt to deplatform a person creating something
Oh
that you.
no! What
Hey,
have I
brother.
walked into? Sorry to
Hey,
interrupt.
it's all right. No, I'm just clearing up a few things and making a statement.
I'm getting blamed for this.
Yeah, actually, I said this
I'm
was all
getting, I'm getting, I'm
Lorenzo's.
getting blamed for
Oh well,
getting doxxed.
well, I already told everybody that it's your fault that I'm coming out like this
Oh,
tonight.
okay.
No, I did not. I did not. But honestly, guys, I mean, so let's get into the brighter side of the principles. Yeah, I reject porn comics. I reject lolly. I accept mature themed comics. But overall, I accept independence and creativity. If you want to see an adult comic that the creator knows how to handle it, go look at Rob Anderson. Fantastic guy. He makes everything from kids' books to adult books, and he does it with some class. You know what I'm saying?
How many of these people are going to go and who are complaining are going to go out and check out that book just to see what the fuss is all about?
Exactly.
Well, that's what happened.
That's why it's
We're
like
just giving free marketing, free
That's
advertising.
exactly-
nobody on the server even knew about. Well, maybe a couple people on there knew about what was.
That was exactly what happened with me. I had no idea. One night,
Yeah, I didn't either. I mean,
one night after our show, I did go into a writer's group and I heard Lamont reading a script that was rather racy. And that was the last time I went because I was like, it sounded like a bunch of, high schoolers reading a dirty story out of Penthouse or something, and she touched her breast. Okay, guys, whatever. That's not my cup of tea. I'm married. I have 2 breasts of my own. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Oh my God, you guys.
You're going to touch your own breast?
Oh my God.
There you go.
Anyways, the point being though is it's not my scene. So what I did was just say, okay, I turned it
How did
off.
we get here?
That's what a sane person would do,
But when we're put in the corner like this,
and again, oh gosh. So that's the thing is there some I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I don't know why somebody want people. Somebody went into my to a chat group that I had, and then they started an argument with somebody else, and then they ended up blocking me because I said, this isn't what my show. This isn't what the chat's about. About the Sleek Stack Kids. It's not about whatever the heck this is.
Yeah.
So this is me just doing the obligatory reminder that tonight, if you order a book, you'll get a free 11/17 print with that order. Okay, we can talk again.
No, cool. Thanks for promoting your book.
Well, the thing is, I promised Diana I would do more to promote it. So,
well, that's great. I mean, what's the book about?
The book is about a superhero who has retired and fallen in hard times and has to redeem himself. And what he does is where all the magic happens because he doesn't do what he thought he was going to do. So we're just going to take a quick look. We have 9 backers, $95.
Yeah, because I had a question about one of the perks. Well, that's way too fast.
Let me tell you the artwork perk.
Chris, slow down. You're going too fast.
I know.
What's the first book there?
The first book is the PDF, and this one isn't included in the 11/17 giveaway because there's nothing to ship.
Oh, so it's only $5. That sounds pretty affordable.
Yeah, and you know the only reason we include it is because we've been told by several overseas people that
Yeah.
they prefer this over like a nightmare trying to get a book over there.
Oh gosh, I heard that the shipping. I think the shipping could be more expensive than the book, or
Yeah,
It
we
is.
ran
the
into
price with some books.
we
It's about
ran into that with somebody
$25
in
to ship to
France.
France.
Yeah.
$25 to ship the book to France.
Oh, so that's
Yep,
more expensive probably than the book itself.
it was.
Yeah, it was amazing because my wife's like, "Well, what are we going to do?" And I'm like, "You have to ship it. That's what
Yep.
we agreed to." The second one here, this is where you could get an 1117, but you can also include it from any tier above this. This includes the well, Diana doesn't know this, but the now 39-page comic book. It's done though. It's in the printer's hands, so to speak. It's being approved and checked and.
So 11 by 17, that's the size of the comic book?
Yeah, the comic book is 39 pages.
Huh.
And it grew. It was 35.
How big is how wide, how tall, sorry to interrupt, but how tall and wide are they usually? Are they usually that size?
Well, yeah, it's a standard comic book size.
Okay.
But their thickness, I guess, is typically 24, 25 pages.
Yep.
And this one was scheduled for 24. But because of the large art pages that I used, it ended up going 35. And then because of a few things that I had to smooth out, you know, because when you make a sculpture, you have to work on all the parts. And if something in the sculpture is a little rough, you sand it out and fix it. So I added 4 pages in that process.
Okay, so it's more expensive than say a Marvel or a DC, but you're getting more pages. And you're getting something very you're getting something a very different kind of story. It's not just
exactly. And to top it all up, I mean, the thing about this, and we'll see how well it does. I think it's going to do fantastic. Is the artwork has the layers and the layers in it, and I think that's going to be the real attraction when people finally realize or get that moment. There's moments when even myself, because I've drawn the thing I know, but I forget what's there, and I'll get caught up looking, and I'll be like, "Oh my gosh, there's a face in that thing." Yeah,
that's awesome.
Or why is there a girl back there, and what is she doing? You know, like there's all these little things that pop out. But yeah, so the $15 tier is the first one you can get an 1117 with. Down and Dirty, nobody's ordered, and I'm surprised, but that's because they don't realize there's a 70-page art book involved there.
70-page?
Yeah, it ended up getting to be 70 pages.
Did you add that? Did you specify that on Indiegogo? Because that's a pretty important fact, and that's.
I don't think we've done a particularly good job of that
because you didn't actually specify on there how many pages.
Yeah, and I think we need to do some editing on it, but we're talking about it now. Diana's taking notes, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, there's the climax. Now, you'll notice that Down and Dirty is now 25 and the climax is 50. The prices are lower. That was because when I finally got the estimates back and all the pricing done, we could afford to go lower. So that's what we did. We went lower for the readers, the backers, our friends, because really we have 2 different goals here. The obvious goal is the $500 financing, you know, but my personal goal is to get 100 backers if those are PDF or whatever. Right. Now, I was shunned last week for saying this, but I know that's an ambitious goal. 100 backers are hard to come up with, but I'm going to shoot high. And heck, if I come up with 50, that's still more than we had the last campaign. So you guys will probably get sick of a lot of the things that I post and stuff, but it's going to get a little crazier because I like the next wave of posting new stuff will be involved in talking about the Silver Scribe. Now, the book, you asked me what it's about. There's actually like 4 different storylines going on. The main one involves the superhero who is retired and is looking for redemption. One of the secondary storylines involves the Silver Scribe. And his job is he's part of a cosmic recording organization, we'll say. Mm-hmm. And he's coming to Earth because Cluster, the old man who is retired, has a very special cosmic possession within his body that he knows nothing about. And that's called the bookmark. So The Silver Scribe is supposed to pick it up, but due to a series of events, that's going to become its own little fiasco. Cluster has no idea that any of this is happening, but the Silver Scribe is part of a higher force, a higher power that functions within the whole cosmic universe. He wanders around his ship naked, but before you get all like, hee, what the heck's that about? He is a being that looks very similar to the Silver Surfer. He does wear clothing, however, when appropriate, and he doesn't have any. Well, he's like a Ken doll, so you don't have to worry about him being naked and doing Dr. Manhattan from The Watchmen on you. But but he so he wanders around a lot in the ship doing his own thing, and you'll discover that as you read the story.
Okay.
The other main storyline basically is that there is a little girl that Cluster interacts with in the book, and she will be pivotal. She's very important to the future of the book. The storyline. Now, I know that, like everybody in the past, I know Lorenzo has noted it, the Hero Shack's been kind of crazy, and it goes here and there, and it's not really, this is going to lead into the origin of Violet Vamp, who was very much part of all the Hero Shack projects. And I don't want to say too much more because obviously I have 45 days to promote this thing. So I got to leave something in the tank to share, like on the 40th day, the last week.
True.
But so that's like what we're here to do. We're here to make and sell books. I'm not even sure why we went there now, but I'm kind of glad because we sidetracked a little bit from the drama. I was getting upset.
Thank you.
I'm upset myself because I keep getting dragged into this. I was in somebody's chat and they were going, and then somebody was going.
Oh, let me say this.
I was responsible for Skinny being doxxed, and it's like, why would I do that? I mean, Skinny's, well, so at least Skinny was my friend. I don't know if he considers me one anymore.
I think right now our friend Skinny is probably I can't speak for him, but I think right now he's probably hurt.
Yeah. It's just I can't help what people do. I can't help when people host drama streams and.
Yeah, well, I guess if we're going there, we need to just say, like obviously DA and Vicky have a show that looks to point out things that are wrong.
In a sensationalistic manner and an entertaining manner too. Well, if you do it in like a dull kind of, this is the Associated Press, you know what I'm saying? Or like
the thing is,
Associated Press is like the most like dullest kind of the Reuters or whatever is like a newswire. That's a real dull.
But the real thing to ask yourself as a person out there is if you watched it when they were chapping on Liam, or when they were making fun of whatever they were making fun of, war campaign, whatever they were making fun of, and it was okay, you thought it was kind of funny.
Yeah,
you might not like it now because it's touching somewhere personal.
But I'd say a lot of stuff they do. They seem to be going. They seem to. I don't know. It's the Liam's thing's maybe a little different because the thing with Liam is he's just constantly going after people. I don't see Skinny going after a lot of people.
No, Liam is a totally different case, and I don't mean to equate.
Preston goes after people. Maybe I can maybe see.
Well, okay, so
where does Skinny fit into?
Yeah, but wait a minute. Honestly, with Preston, I guess I should address this too. Preston, I believe Preston is upset too. I think that he's been messed with a lot and pushed into a corner, and I know that DA pointed out a lot of very suspect things about Preston. But the bottom line with Preston is he wasn't bugging me at all. He was in the background more or less. I knew that his stream had gotten a little sexualized, and I didn't know what was happening, but I got out before it really went that far, I guess. Or maybe it was there all along and I just didn't know about it. But see, this is the conflict, because that's one of the benefits when someone like DA comes out and says, hey, I found this. This is disgusting. I think everybody should know this is what's going on. That, in a sense, is a public service. Because
but the part. So my point, I don't know if you know what I'm talking about with the Associated Press articles. They'll just go and they'll probably have some sort of slant, but typically they're kind of boring.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's kind of like
on this happened there,
Well, yeah,
but what happens on these streams, like what Preston and Vicky and Dean and is that they tend to editorialize.
Well, yeah, no, I
and
get
they
it.
add like their own slant, and they go and they make it entertaining. But then they go in the some of the rhetoric they use is a lot different than if you're just reporting the news, because it's like an opinion piece, like Rachel Maddow. It's like Rachel Maddow for conservatives or whatever.
It is an opinion piece, and really, it's like the difference between going, New York received 2 feet of snow today, or New York got hit by a blizzard like they haven't seen in 10 years. People were freezing out those streets.
It can, unfortunately, is when you're not just reporting. They're not asking the person they're reporting on for their opinion. Like they'll say in a newspaper article that we reached out to so and so, and who knows, they might have just left a message on the voicemail and then read the article. I
gotta say though, I think one of the mistakes about if there was anything that was really, really weird about how this came about, was the video should have been broken up into 2 separate issues, because there really are 2 separate issues there. DA is talking first about, what Preston knew when he knew it about his porn videos and wanting to create war campaign and everything. There was that section, and then it kind of went into the lolly thing. And I think the 2 subjects are being mixed together and conflated and confused.
I didn't even, to tell you the truth, I hadn't seen the video. I saw some. I saw I saw the images, and I didn't like them. It's just, it just seems like but.
Well, in general,
videos are made late at night. I go to sleep and I wake up. This has happened several times where either I'll go to sleep and I'll wake up and people are arguing, or I'll watch some video late at night and I don't even know what's going on, because I'm, it's Pacific time and I'm in the East Coast. So I'm just I'm so confused and trying to figure out what the hell they're talking about, because I don't find their videos or their live streams to be all that easy to follow,
To me, a live stream kind of stinks in rerun if you're watching it in rerun.
Yeah, I don't find it very easy to follow. I'm not saying, maybe it's probably just my comprehension skills, are kind of poor to begin with. And so I just don't understand always what Dean and Vicky are saying.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just needed to do this real quick. We still have 9 backers at $95 over at Cluster Fudge. The link is in the description of the video. If you're ready to back it tonight, you get a free 11/17 print mailed with your book. I say it that way because PDFs are not included in that. Yep, PDFs are welcome, because every dollar helps, and
I'll be back in a second.
Okay. So I guess I'm done with that commercial. Hey, you're still there, buddy. Don't say anything compromising. I denounce.
my whole thing though is I can't really follow what they're saying, and a bunch of people get upset, and I'm like, I don't know what Dean and Vicky just said, because it just seems like they throw a lot of things together that don't always seem all that related. Like you're saying.
I took it very slow, and I've actually waited, probably 48 hours to really say anything on it. I watched Dean's video at least 3 times, maybe 4.
Was Skinny involved in it?
Skinny's involvement was basically that he stood up, and I think rightfully so, and he was like, hey, it's not right to, mob crush this guy. Cancel culture sucks. He's got a right to make his book. And I agree with that to the extent that I think the fair market will crush an effort like this. I don't think it's going to be successful, because it's of such a nature that I think people will reject it
Was anybody? Nobody was even watching it. Well, okay, I gotta be.
Very few were
The
paying
thing is, it
attention.
didn't seem like there were that many more people than watching my stream, watching Preston's stream.
No, exactly.
Like,
No, this was
the comic book creator that's been very well known.
And maybe
owns the
that's what,
trademark of Comicsgate.
that might have been what got Skinny really fired up, because it's not like Lamont has like a 5 or 6 figure crowdfunder going on. He's just a little guy. As far as comics go, he's just a small guy on the rung. He hasn't made a book. He's working on it.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I didn't mean to insult Preston's channel, but it seemed like when he first started posting those streams, he had a lot of viewers, and then maybe people. The last time I checked, it seemed like maybe people lost interest. Maybe it had, I don't know if it had anything to do with Lamont.
Remember when the shared universe went down, and and Vicky left, and he lost Zombicron, who, like him or not, he had a very good audio voice, the Australian accent, the whole 9 yards. It added something.
I'll give him that.
So when he lost them, the show continued, but he didn't replace those personalities with like Vicky really did fill a role of a female voice for the script readings, and then he had I think Mobley is the one with the deep voice, right? The guy.
Okay. So it was on a.
So he had a good
live
variety.
stream with him before with some of the Etsy boys, and I was kind of surprised with all this stuff that.
Well, I mean, in the beginning, that show had a wide variety, and it kind of boiled down to Preston, I believe Mobley, and Larry, or John Lamont, and maybe one other guy. So they were still doing script readings, and after our show, I would attempt to go over and watch it for a little. But I remember one night going over there, and apparently Lamont was reading the script that he intends to put forth in the book that I saw the artwork to, and I was just like, "Holy shit!" I'm not sitting here listening to this. If my wife had walked in, she would have accused me of like enjoying it. No. She would have been like, "This is a porn show. What are you watching?"
Yeah, that's got some sort of. It's got probably a different kind of audience than what you're going.
Yeah, and you know what? In the free market, that's fair. Go ahead and do your thing, and I get that. But the fact that the light was shined on it, the fact that I found Lolly personally offensive. Like, even if it wasn't for my wife, this isn't the kind of porn that I would go, "Wow, yeah," no. Mm-hmm. I at least want the women to look like women. And I'm not trying to be a prude. It's just when it was put in my face, and they were, the show, the video is like, by the way, look at what they're producing over here, and look at what's on the Discord, and look at this and look at that. And I was like, okay,
the thing is that people who are on the Discord, there's so many different channels on there, and who the heck checks out MGTOW stuff? I didn't even know they had a MGTOW channel.
Well,
I just saw the Preston said Oingo Boingo, and it's like, well, not many people even talk about that band. I was looking at the music section.
Let me get mighty for a second. Let me get sanctimoniously holy for a minute, okay? As a man of God who does not preach, you guys know me. I don't preach a lot. I mean, we have the God chat at night, but I don't usually typically sit here and Terry, you have to remove the sword because that's a violent thing, and I don't want that in my stream. Whatever it is, we don't play that kind of holier than thou. Let's preach at people thing. No. But as a man of God, okay, I have to stop and say to myself, is this really what I'm here for? So, in other words, do I really need to be involved in a comic book circle that, number one, is producing a demonic book, okay? And I know Preston has his demon books, but they're well drawn. They're kind of cartoony. They have a like a pulp quality to them. The Lamont stuff, and maybe this is unfair, but the 3D computer rendered art just made me want to vomit. That's really kind of cold, but I really don't like that style. And
when I first saw it, I was like, "What is this? Is this like real? Is this real?" And it's like, "Oh no, it's 3D." Because I was just like looking at it like on my phone, When people were,
totally.
When somebody was like saying, "Well, this is the imagery on that server," and I'm looking at it, it's like, what is this? And I didn't want to like really zoom in, because they're like.
I actually asked if he had deleted artwork because that was one of the things that was going around, that he had deleted a lot of it. And he provided a link to DeviantArt, and I saw everything that he had to show. And I was like, I was actually kind of speechless because I didn't know what to say back. I was just like, guy, you should probably be getting some help. And I know that's a judgment
call. Stuff. I saw the stuff that was a Preston server. I don't know if I saw the DeviantArt stuff.
Yeah, the DeviantArt stuff
deleted.
Just kind of went deeper than the server. So if you saw anything that was a little sexualized, let's just say it was full-blown nudity with full oral sex between two girls that looked like they belonged in seventh grade to me. All the way from the way the face looked, the way the bone structure breaks down. Like there's a certain way you draw children versus how you draw adults. With the way the eyes are shaped and the size of the eyes. And you know what I'm talking about? Like as an artist, you look and you go, oh, that's not a woman, that's a child. And to me, it was, as a man of God, I went, well, this is not
was it like Uzaki-chan?
Yeah.
Uzaki-chan?
I don't know what that is.
It's an anime character, but
she's short, but she's got big boobs. And she's 19 or 20, depending on.
Is this the Red Cross lady? The little Red Cross character?
Yeah. That's what she's used for the Red Cross commercials. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I don't care if your character is 17, 18, 16, whatever. What I care about is when I look at your character, even in comics, they've always had a little bit of sexualization. Even back to the Wonder Twins, from Super Friends, Jan had a little bump in her chest to represent her boobs and a little hook in her hip to make sure you knew that she was a sassy lady. Not like today. I know today is bigger boobs and more curvations, but cartoons have always been a little bit of an exaggeration. But when I look and I see something and I go,
naked.
That character is absolutely under the age of 15. And she's absolutely doing pornographic things. That's when it gets unreal.
No, I'm asking, was it like Ozaki-chan or was it something different?
I think it was way different.
Because I don't think I saw
okay, so the only way I could explain it is I felt like I was looking at I felt like it was like I just felt like it was porn that had, I would definitely say, I would question the age of the models and feel like I should probably be calling the FBI.
I'm just asking if you feel the same way about the Red Cross girl.
No.
Okay, so that's the thing, because people were SJWs were trying to claim that she was a 5-year-old. It's like, well, 5-year-olds don't have like that. Those are like enormous.
Well, for one thing, she was fully dressed, and for another thing, the character, I guess, is officially 18 or 19. But also, she wasn't in the stuff I saw. She wasn't being pushed down by a young demon chick so that she could have her privates cleaned.
Oh, I'm sure there's fan art like that,
This wasn't fan art.
Could go on like some sort of fan art site, and
I'm not talking about fan art.
See some clothes things, and then you might see
but you're missing
the point. You not even realize is going to be there,
But you're missing the point. I'm not talking about fan art. This was art that was presented as, this is part of my project. This is my work, and this is my work in progress.
Yeah, I'm not defending it. I don't even because I don't. I don't think I may even know what stuff was. I don't think I've even seen much of the imagery from what it sounds like.
No, but I just want to be clear, because I'm not talking about, we've all seen the wacky fan art that really has no business floating around the internet. I'm talking about when we show artwork from our projects and stuff. This was presented at least to the extent of, hey, this is the work in progress, And I don't know. I saw it and I was just like, oh my God, this is not good. It physically kind of put a weight on my heart, because I was like, how is this not illegal?
Ostracized from society?
No, I think that's.
I think Dean said.
I think that's hyperbole. Dean may fully believe it. I think that it's a mistake to take a degenerate, if you will, if you want to use that term, a sexual degenerate, and ostracize them. In fact, I think most people don't deserve being ostracized. I think that if you're compassionate, you want to help someone, especially if you think they're suffering in a sexual ailment, or if they're stuck in hate or pain, or like they're.
Yeah, I like Dean and Vicky as individuals, but do they really seem like they're trying to help? Preston,
so
or
on that,
even when they were reporting on the Mecca, they were upset with Mecca, and it didn't seem like anything Preston will. Preston wanted to handle it his own way, and they decided to go and report on it. And
yeah, but to that extent, you have to remember, okay, Preston sometimes comes across like a very heavyweight piece of sandpaper. You guys know that I've had a great relationship with him.
I think he said I think he realizes that people don't that people don't always get along with him.
Well, let's just say I think that people don't appreciate some of his I don't know how to say it, just some of his mannerisms or expressions, or the way like some people would call him condescending. It never really bothered me. Especially since the Preston I know, like I've told people a dozen times, kind, smart, intelligent,
very helpful with your campaigns, and he donated a lot of books to Skinny's campaign.
Yes, he
Master donated some books as well, which I think is great.
So that's where a lot of the conflict is, because in my heart of hearts, I wish this had been dealt with a little differently from all parties.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. I'm not.
But like,
I'm not saying that these things shouldn't be addressed. I'm just saying, like,
Preston went on Testify's show, and they kind of had a rap and chat about it.
I didn't see much of that. I haven't caught up with much of this.
Oh yeah, I was actually.
I just know I'm being like dragged into this, and I don't know. I was at the grocery store, and I come back, and Skinny's doxxed. It reminded me of the time I was at a grocery store and somebody else blocked me because of something that
Well, all I can really say to that is
somebody else mentioned their name.
People who are doxing need to number one, know that they can really hurt a person's life. But number two, if you get someone mad enough and they can figure out what happened, you could find yourself facing some, serious difficulties. I don't know about criminal charges or civil suits or whatever, but it's not the territory you want to go in.
It looked like somebody went on they went on some social media site that Skinny or his wife was on. They went and took some like his wedding photo, and which actually was I thought it was a cool photo, but they shouldn't have. It should have been up to Skinny whether or not to share it with people on Kiwi Farms or
maybe even more so. It's just kind of intimidating, like. If somebody goes and finds your personal photos and starts putting them up online, even if you had them public on Facebook, it's a little unsettling.
Yeah. That's the thing, is we're going to one site and they share it to something else.
Yeah, it becomes that's weird. How do you even know I'm over there?
That would be very intimidating.
Guys.
Yes, my love.
It's been about 20 minutes of discussing this. Do you guys want to pick a different subject maybe and talk about it?
I don't know what to talk about.
I wasn't here for payback.
Maybe, I don't know. Christopher?
Let's jump a little bit. Bit. And let's try to talk about the group a little bit.
By the way, I was gonna say though, when people doxed Stu's photos, he was like, "Oh, cool! Thanks for you found a bunch of old photos of from my MySpace account." And it's like, and that might be and again, I could just imagine, at the time, Skinny and his wife were probably all shook up. Well, it's too bad he couldn't have handled it that way. I don't blame him for getting upset.
No,
but I think everybody of being responsible for him being doxxed, like accusing me, that's not the right way to go about it. I condemned the doxing. I just didn't know how Vicky was supposed to be involved with it because I didn't watch her stream.
Well, honestly, I understand they're being accused, and I understand that there was conversation about they may have inspired the person who actually did it.
Yeah, I didn't even know that's what Skinny was saying. I was just It's like, well, how does Vicky have to do with it? It's like, oh, you're blocked. It's like, what?
But can I say something about this whole you doxed me or you said my name online or whatever?
Sure.
from my understanding, if you have an online presence, almost anybody can find out who you really are with your legal
True.
name and all of that, right?
No.
So yeah,
No.
you can. What do you mean no?
Okay, so let me say this, okay?
I don't buy that.
If not for certain connections, there. Okay, for instance, remember lion art? He came in here last week or the week before and showed us some lion art.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
I know him.
If you were to try to go out and
guy.
find him right now, you have nothing to go off of. You would have to search and hope that maybe he left a crumb here or a post there. Or
Exactly. I didn't say
unless
it
he
was
got
going to
some
be
other
easy.
account, but his other account isn't going to be his real name either. It's going to
That
be.
wasn't the point that I was trying to make.
I
Though.
know,
I
but
was
my
just
point was you
saying,
can hide if you want to.
you can hide, but eventually, if somebody really wanted to find you and you have an online presence,
True.
that's the key word, online presence. If you have multiple places that you visit and you go to, eventually someone could theoretically find your name. I'm not saying it's easy. So I get that being respectful. If you know somebody's full name and they do not want you to know it, you shouldn't go blabbing it. Like I wouldn't, people who have
Yeah.
bought our books, I wouldn't blab it. I wouldn't dox them.
Yeah, that's
But I
good to know.
guess what cracks me up is like so many people throw their arms up in air and they argue over, well, this one doxed me and that one doxed me, when it just doesn't make sense to me.
Well,
I
Skinny
don't
is his
know.
real name too.
You
He
know?
says his name in his Twitter handle. So
Right. So I mean, I just don't get it. I don't get that.
But,
That's all I
the
want
thing
to
is, the thing is, it's just kind of creepy how they're going. Well, the thing is that some people just go and they dig and they try to go and find all sorts of personal info, and they're going in when they go into so much depth to do that. I think that people find that to be an invasion of privacy, and they find that to be creepy, and it's used to intimidate people. And some people even been swatted, which means they call us.
But the thing about Skinny is that it wasn't just his name. I guess it was his address. It was photos of his trailer.
Oh, really? There was
there was more. There was more personal. Yeah, there was more personal information involved than just the name. Because at first I thought the same thing. I'm like,
wow,
I don't understand. Your name is in your handle, but. And he didn't tell me this. Somebody else said it, but they said it was far more than just his name.
But okay, so here I'm going to play the devil advocate. If you are out there and you are publishing and you are using your real name, expect this kind of stuff to happen. There are crazy people in the world, and yes, be upset about it. Be like, okay, I'm a little concerned. That was not cool. But to take it to the level that some people, and I'm not saying Skinny because I don't know anything about that situation, but take it to the level that some people do, it just, to me, I scratch my head and I say, that's really weird. They put themselves out there. It's kind of like celebrities, right? Celebrities
it would be very careful because I don't want it to come across like I'm saying that this is a good thing or I'm defending it.
It's not a good thing. I'm not saying
because I've been accused of defending it. It's like, no, this is horrible, especially if his address was leaked as well. Because I thought maybe they went to a different social media site and just posted his wedding photo and like a couple other photos, because that's all I saw.
Surprised that people are as upset as they are if their public information is available through their artwork, through their creations, whatever. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, I'm not sure if his address was out there though.
Well, if he mails things out to his readers, or
I get what Diana's saying.
He uses a PO box,
right? But what Diana's saying is, if you're really a publishing company, if you really get serious about it, you'll leave a footprint somewhere that somebody smart enough can find it.
And I would be upset too if like all of a sudden some creepy person was plastering my name and address all over the internet, although my husband does it anyways. And
I know somebody who, and I'm no longer friends with this person, but I know somebody, he claims that he somebody told a certain comic book creator, I won't say their name because it's just an allegation I'm on,
Mm-hmm.
That the person said he won like a T-shirt or something like that, and then he gave him his PO box, and then the guy allegedly sent him at his actual home address that's not public. So now that's really weird if that happened.
No matter
I don't think his name or or address was public, and somehow the
But
guy
the
allegedly
point,
found
but the point
out.
go, it still goes back to if you put yourself out there in any manner, shape, or form, guys, right? That is just part of it. That's just part of this whole sort of life that this whole thing. If you put anything out there about yourself, that I'm not saying I think it's right. I don't think it's right, but I'm not surprised when I hear it. I guess that's all I'm saying. And I'm going to stop talking now. It's 9 o'clock. I wanted to at least have some part of the conversation, and that was my 2 cents for
All
all
right,
shit.
so let's go look at the sales.
Yeah, that's true. That's always a risk, and so you're right. That's always a risk.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I think that people need to keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to be careful because people might think I'm blaming Scanny or
No.
all because I'm saying that I don't know. I don't understand the allegation that Vicky and Dean died. Because there's like several steps to the list of how it's supposed.
Who knows?
Because.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're doing a check-in. I'm doing a check-in. This is the obligatory commercial. Cluster Fudge now has 9 backers at $95. We have not moved the needle at all. But that's okay because we're learning. Next week I'll have more annoying commercials with music and stuff. But this is where we're at for this week. And I am happy about where we're at. It's disappointing when I see different comics do so much better because I think that we should be in that range too.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll get there. We'll get there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you have a 2-book perk, if you had like a 2-book, or even if it was like a kind of a secret perk.
Yeah, Diana's working on add-ons that will work that way, right, honey?
Okay.
Yeah.
But we're gonna have to
that's
look
even
at the
better
page and advertise it.
Right.
That's even better because it doesn't. That way, it doesn't clutter up.
Yeah, I kind of like the limited amount of tiers. Now, I will say this: I listened to Testify talk about that, and the only thing I disagree with him about is I still think PDF is the way to go.
Oh, what did you talk about?
He talked about like having 3 tiers instead of like 30. I agreed with that.
Showed off, I won't say the guy's name, but I think the guy had like 20 or 25 tiers, and it's like he just add one little item and then just add a tier, and it's
it gets ridiculous. It's like, and for my 17th tier, if you buy it, you get everything of the other ones plus a guitar pick.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, it's like the guy might have had like a really cool book for all I know. It's just that it didn't fun because I think people probably looked at it and they were like, I'm confused.
He was trying to tell other things other than the book.
Yeah, and it's somebody that testified doesn't get along with, but even if we filter that part out, it's just like the guy you shouldn't have like 20 or 25 tiers, Well,
the thing with this book, this is Diana's first project that she's fully managing. And
I'm not doing a great job. I know that.
Right now we are 17 days in. So on a 30-day thing would be halfway there, and we're only at $95. But we still have time to recover in the sense that we have time to, hit up the family, hit up the friends.
I'm trying to get it out there. I will tell you guys that I have been posting every day on Instagram, and I have been slowly but surely been picking up followers. I got a couple new followers today. I've also been posting on all of the comic book groups that that have come across on the Hero Shack Press and the Hero Shack Facebook accounts. I've been posting in them frequently. Chris and I are now waiting to hear back. There's a radio show called Spin and Chat in Florida who put up on one of the comic book pages that they are where they're looking for comic book artists, musicians, anybody that they can interview. And they contacted me, and I sent over our information, and hopefully we'll hear something back.
And there's other people too. Like I want to really hook up with Rob Anderson sometime. He's got a really nice network going over on Facebook. And
I would just check out the videos ahead of time if you haven't with a particular channel and see if see what the shows.
Oh,
the
Anderson.
format's like.
Anderson, I've known for not known online. I've known him for about 2 years now.
Yeah.
Awesome.
He's a really nice guy. Like I said, he's the guy actually that has adult books that he's created and done, but he's not. I don't know. Like it. Sometimes it almost seems like some things are done just to irritate other people. I'm not saying that's what's going on with the lolly stuff, but definitely in the defense of it and the attack of it, it's getting sketchy. And like the point should just simply be, okay, a lot of us are really offended by it, and that should be the extent of it.
I'm a bit confused that there wasn't a separate section, like a not safe for work section. Because I mean, and some people even have 2 separate Discord servers. I could see that being kind of unwieldy, but
I don't know. I have no idea what I'm doing when I'm on there.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
It's a little overwhelming. I went to your server today, but nothing's happening there. You haven't posted.
Yeah, I'm adding more members. I'm just getting it started.
Well, if the group, remember I said we should talk about the group.
Get some mods that are a little more active.
Yeah, you haven't started that yet.
I've been trying to get to it, but I was actually wondering, what do you guys think about Discord for just to make a small little creators group? And I mean small, because honestly, guys, if this thing got big, it's just gonna self-destruct.
You don't want a Discord that's too big, I think.
But I mean, we could start
learn that from too many Discords.
Yeah, well, no, but I mean, I want a place where we can literally share, tips and ask for help or give advice, or just drop work on each other so we can go, yeah, that looks really cool, or geez, Chris, you're still making your thumbs like potatoes.
Yeah, you can, and you can.
You know what I mean? So I'm thinking, I'm leaning towards Discord mostly because it can be really a trouble-free, very highly maintained in its own
think
right.
About like a Twitter group, you don't really have different sections for things. You don't have different channels, I think they call it.
Right, and Discord is actually pretty popular. It would be It would actually be good to have a positive presence there. What's that?
I think it's somewhat decentralized. Like these are all kind of separate servers. Maybe they're. I don't know if they're on the same network or how it works exactly.
I'm not sure either.
It seems a little more decentralized than maybe Facebook, but I could be wrong.
Yeah,
or Twitter.
It feels more like the old bulletin boards, which is something that I'm finding attractive.
Basically, that's how it's set up.
Yeah.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
Why don't you check out Pops Van Zant on Comic Related Madness?
Because I'm not sure who that is.
He's a comic creator. He also does a lot of promoting of other people's comics.
Diana, are you taking notes?
No. What did you say?
He said,
next time you're on Facebook, go to Comics Related Madness.
I think I have that. Wait a minute. I'm going to look right now. It sounds very familiar. Is it comics with an X?
No.
Okay, maybe. Okay, it's not that one then. But I wrote it down.
It's abbreviated as CROM.
Okay.
That's what Pops does. But the thing is, he likes to promote indie creators whenever he can. Because that's what he did over the weekend with his CromCon.
Oh, yes. I know who you're talking about. That came up.
Yeah.
All right. So he is, I'm going to join the group right now. Oops, wait a minute. I want to join his Hero Shack.
Ooh.
Okay. I joined the group. Membership is pending, blah, blah, blah.
Hey guys, what do we do if she gets like a question to verify she's a comic book fan? Should we watch her sweat?
No.
What was Clark Kent's second girlfriend's name?
I will Google it is what I will do because I am that smart, okay?
Well, that's pretty easy. That was second girlfriend was Lois Lane.
That's correct. Get that man
Lana Lang.
Yep. Get that man a golden goose there. That's correct. But it did sound a little overwhelming because you wouldn't know Lois was like the second girlfriend.
Right. Most people don't know that.
I remember getting my hands on a whole bunch of Kurt Swan Superman comics, and that was where I learned about Lana. Now joining the group is Artist Supreme Jace Blade. What's up, brother?
Good to see you again.
Hello.
Jace.
I was just doing some homework, and then I saw because I was looking at Instagram before I went to sleep. I saw your thing, and I was like, "Oh, go say hi to Dad and the crew."
Yeah, we're just kind of finishing up for the night.
Gotcha.
Since you came in, I should do this just to do it. Hang on. No, I can't do it. I closed everything. But tonight and tonight only, if you order our book from Indiegogo, you'll get a free 11/17 color print featuring the artwork from Cluster Fudge. Anyways, that's my commercial pitch. I've been doing it all night.
Hi, Jace.
Hello.
Everybody's on their little icon.
Yeah.
So I figured I'd pop in to be like, I'm live, I'm real.
I threw up my camera because I think the Twitch streaming as a gamer kind of failed because I don't do it consistently, and it's not all that appealing.
Well, you're busy now doing other stuff, so.
Actually, you can do Twitch streaming as an artist too.
Well, yeah. So I was thinking I might start trying to get some art streams going because there's already so many gamers out there. It's a flooded market, and
yeah.
I either play something old and I don't really care, or I play something new and people come in and ruin it. You know, people like to go in and they go, "Oh yeah, towards the end of the game, this guy dies and it's really crazy." And like, oh,
right.
You know, the only person I know that I think should have tried and maybe still could do it is Mike. If Mike got on there and beat these games that take, double-digit hours to win, and he was doing it in a 4-hour fashion,
yeah, he would do it. He could be good on like GDQ, games done quick.
Yep.
But I think he'd be one of those streamers that also people are kind of like, is he alive? Or he's like, yeah, so I'm gonna.
You're right. He'd really need an MC. Okay, Mike's going down into the canal. He's got his gun out. Okay, what's he going to do? Hey, Mike, what you going to do? I'm going to get my knife and I'm going to go stab. He's going to get his knife and he's going to go stab the man.
That's what they have for awesome games done quick because the speedruns take so much focus that it's kind of like, all right, Chris is doing this speed run, and Jace is going to tell you what he's doing, and what he's doing here is a bomb jump, and the reason he's doing this is because he'll get invincibility. And,
Mike. He's not here to defend himself, you guys.
Yeah, well, that doesn't mean he couldn't he can put himself on a camera. He's always more than welcome.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true.
There's nothing wrong with streaming that way. There's something really magical about watching someone great at a game totally break it and ruin everything about it.
So, son.
Yes.
You are technically a millennial, right?
I believe so. I believe.
So let me throw this out there and just see what you say. And if you don't know anything about it, that's cool. What do you think of lolly art?
Are we talking like anime lolly, like little girls, but they're technically 18, so it's not illegal?
Sort of, yeah. Basically, any kids drawn sexualized, overly sexualized.
Now, then you're not talking anime because all the girls are over 18.
No, yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking about when you look at it and okay, that's an 8-year-old with big
this
tits.
is also 3D, right? You said the person.
Yeah, the artwork was actually rendered in Poser. It's not real artwork, so it's even a little bit more obvious that these are young ladies.
Did you just say 3D artwork isn't real artwork?
Yeah, that's exactly what I said.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, no. So let me explain that. Let me explain that though. There is a difference between someone who works in a 3D digital environment and creates, and someone who takes Poser and grabs models and throws them into situations, calling it a story art.
You're talking about what I've heard is that it's a lot. That some of these 3D programs are like real quick to create things. Now I don't think necessarily they all are. But I don't think like Pixar movies or whatever are made in 5 minutes or anything. So
I think you're talking like Gary's Mod, like grabbing models off an asset store and just going, look at the situation this girl's in.
You buy an outfit, you buy a car, You put them on a background and say, "Look,
yeah, that's all pre.
Yeah.
That I can do that stuff.
Oh, like pre-rendered is like all pre-rendered, or
yeah.
But I don't know.
Cold?
I don't know if I'd consider it pre-rendered, but it is all pre-set up. It's pre-rigged, so you get. I know what Jason's talking. It's basically like getting digital dolls and posing them.
Yeah.
You're not talking about somebody actually designing a 3D model for. You're talking about, because I think.
I'm not talking.
I think a friend of mine mentioned this before.
I'm not talking Pixar where someone actually crafted a 3D model for a cartoon. I'm talking like, hey man, for 1995, I can get like really cool warrior guys for my book. Okay, man, go buy them, and it's the same 1995 guy that everybody has. So you try to
So somebody finds some 3D assets. You call it?
Yeah, that's kind of
new to me.
Yeah, I think.
I think I've maybe seen both kinds of programs.
I kind of think of that as an asset flip. It's kind of, if you buy something off of an asset store and you don't modify it in some way to make it your own, then I don't value your art. But that's why I don't like people that just trace and say, did this quick sketch today, and I'm like, you didn't do a quick sketch, you traced, which is like maybe valuable for learning, but.
Well, let's say I was making like, say, a webcomic, and I didn't have the money to hire an artist, but I wanted to write it, just to do something fun, I might do something like that.
Yeah.
I'm a writer. Like Picasso or whatever type level art. It maybe would serve a certain function.
It's just weird when you see something that amateurish and yet you're
talking about something that somebody's going to be selling.
Well, not only that, no, I'm talking about, okay, this is not only supposed to be porn, but it's Lola porn, and it's 3D rendered, so it almost looks real, but it looks like a PS2, and it's very poorly written. So to be honest, I could handle the darkness. I could handle the young ladies to some extent. I wouldn't sexualize them like this at all, but if your story goes dark, you can write about like a Lola situation, like human trafficking.
Just so you know, it's Lolita. If you keep calling it Lola, it's gonna.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Lolly.
That was actually the guy's character name.
Yeah. So I screwed that part up. You're right.
A real original.
I just,
So yeah, I don't think. I see what you're saying. I definitely am. I'm not defending it. I'm just saying that I don't think people would have even known about it except for like a few viewers of Preston's show that had not been pointed out.
So let me ask you, and this is another conundrum I'm in. I wouldn't have known about it, but had I not known about it, I might have endorsed him in some, some weird way. Because, in fact, I was for a while there because I was telling people after our show, go see us. We'll go watch Preston's show.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's bad to even point it out. I'm just saying it was calling the guy, saying the guy, he's a pedophile. He should be ostracized from society and shot. I think maybe that was going. The rhetoric is maybe
sure that was probably too far.
And maybe I got that wrong. Maybe he didn't say shot. Maybe I'm sorry if I misquoted. Don't want to be.
That probably was going too far, particularly in a public video. However, I can tell you that I have assisted in creating a hero in this world that was going to go cut up a child molester with a pizza knife. So I kind of understand.
Oh, I've seen Taxi Driver. Have you seen that?
No, I'm talking about.
That's a really well-made movie. It's over the top like that. It's kind of like that.
No, so let me get some context around this. Context.
Jace, you stepped into this.
Here's what you gotta. You're pulling in something from Japanese culture, right? Which is very different, very open to sexuality and bodies, and they've got a pretty big fascination with high schoolers anyway. Like there's a lot of media from Japan about high school aged people. And as an American, sometimes you have to look at it and just kind of laugh it off and be like, that's so wacky. And sometimes when it comes to the West, they change things in character bios. So it's like, hey, that girl that we said was 16 when it was originally in Japan, it now says she's 19. So let me ask you. So from this creator, what was the context? Did they give an age? Did they just make a young-looking character?
Two very young-looking characters. One was a demoness, and the other one was what looked to be a 14-year-old redhead barely blossoming into maturity. And there wasn't a lot there, but what was there was nothing more than sexual scant pant type dialogue. And then what was drawn was all the way down to full lesbian, oral sex and all sorts of stuff, which just, I was like, this doesn't even look right. Like, it looked like looking at two little middle school girls, which I've said repeatedly. And on the spiritual level, I do struggle with the demoness having sex with someone who looks like she's 15, 14 years old.
So here's the thing, though, where I would need context, because it's also not fair just to say because somebody looks young that they have to be young. I know plenty of very petite, young-looking people, and
I don't know their nationality. Were they supposed to be like Japanese women? Because they might look, because he like everybody's like.
Well, and
again, so I'm not defending. I'm just saying though that there's some voice actresses that actually they're voicing characters. They look young, and then you look at what the voice actors look like, and they're like 5 foot, maybe 4'8" or something. It's like,
I think you need to know what the creator's intent was, right? And I think you got to also accept at some point that like some people just make wild shit because they can, and they see what they can get away with, and a lot of places have a free market philosophy because capitalism. There was literally some game on Steam where it was like you play as a rapist that attacks women and uses a gun and shit, and I was like, eventually got pulled down because of the outrage. But it's like you're not going to be able to completely wipe out these fringe people on the internet that
that's right.
Can find 6 other people that agree with them, and they'll just put out their weird shit.
There's another element is what happened was like, so like my name got brought up on some website for being a member of a group, like me and like 4 other people. There's like over 50 people in the group, and I joined the Discord, but I think I'd only like posted maybe general chat, once or twice before, and posted some Oingo Boingo music video. And so, like, all of a sudden, there was people that had to go and do the search, use the search function, which I didn't even know Discord had. That's how little I know about Discord. And go through the archives and find there wasn't, like, a not safe for work section even. It was, like, which I don't know why there wasn't. They had to go through, like, the MGTOW set. It's like, I'm not into that men's rights stuff or whatever that is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know anything about that stuff.
And then there was stuff that was on a Discord server. So Preston server got Discord server. Okay, I mean it was on a this guy also had a DeviantArt page. So like, then that got conflated with the stuff that was on the Discord server. I'm not even sure if Preston knew about the Discord server. I'm not saying there was anything illegal on there. I'm just saying it sounds like there was the stuff on there was more extreme.
Yeah. So if it's just an individual doing their own stuff, then it's kind of like you ignore them, or you say like, wow, that dude's clearly out of his mind, not worth pursuing. And I'm sure another person on the internet saying, hey, drawing girls that look like they're 14 having sex isn't cool. He's probably heard that already. He doesn't care. If it's an outlier in a group, then at some point you got to say the people leading the group need to confront this person and say, hey, that shit's not acceptable here. You either got to get it off of here and, not post that content again.
So I think it might have been one of the mods and I think it was like maybe a friend of the person who ran the Discord server. Sorry to talk so much.
It's just one of those things where if the owners of the organization are uncomfortable with it, then they need to confront them. And some of my favorite YouTube groups have had to put out statements where they're like, we're no longer affiliated with this person. This shit came up. They've got this seedy behavior. We don't want to be associated with it. Henceforth, they're no longer
move on. Right?
Yeah.
And just move on.
Okay, and if it turns out that the leaders of the group are like, no, that's cool with us, then you say, okay, then, this isn't the environment for me, clearly.
Right. So, guys, I'm going to just jump in real quick. Two things.
Do it.
We got approved for our Comic Related Madness Facebook group.
Okay.
Yay! So
congratulations
thank you very much.
On that.
Thank you, Terry, for
what was that? Comic.
we got I joined a group, and like a lot of the comic book groups, you have to wait for approval. Like
Gotcha.
we add, so they just approved us. And Terry, Mighty Geek Studios, Terry is the one that suggested it. So I was letting him know that the gentleman approved us. And the next thing is I'm going to sign off.
Nope.
What do you mean? No, I don't want to hear about this anymore. It's boring me.
Yeah, I
I'm
know, but I
sorry.
need you to stay
Love
around
you
for one
guys.
more minute.
All right, one more minute.
All right,
Okay.
but hang on. It's going to take me one
I'm
second.
setting my timer.
Okay, so what I just did was I clipped out everything I could, and I just want to show you a picture. Okay?
Yep.
Give me 1 second. Share. Okay, so this young lady, she is completely nude, head to toe in the photo.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just wanted to bring it up, and you tell me how old.
She could be 18. I don't know. It's hard to tell. It's
If you saw the rest of the body, you would probably disagree with that assessment.
So the point is that it's an underage 3D rendition of a female body person.
Wait a second. Wait, underage or she's supposed to be 18?
We have no idea. What I'm saying
that's what Jace is saying. Like, we don't
so
know
without
what the artist
context and without it being a real human, then it kind of comes down to hearsay.
Mm-hmm.
And just to play devil's advocate, it's the same reason you don't want to, tell people the government can tell you what you can and can't say, because then where does it stop? Then I show a bloody picture and the government says that's too violent.
Yeah, the weird thing. Oh, go ahead.
I completely get that, which is why I'm not endorsing like deplatforming or canceling anybody. But on the other hand, it's also why I'm saying that's why I was freaked out. To me, that looks like
yeah.
No, then you just say this guy's a fucking weirdo, and I don't endorse his stuff, and I wouldn't suggest that you support him with your time or money.
I don't even have to go that far.
That
I can just say he's a weirdo. I'm done.
Anime style. I could be wrong. I didn't really look at it too closely, but no, anime is kind of confusing because there's the high school whole situation.
Well, in the anime,
there's a subculture.
Anime has a lot of abstraction. So I see what you're saying where that's more detailed.
But there's a subculture called kawaii. I mean, well, I'm not pronouncing it right. Kawaii.
Yeah,
I know I'm supposed to say I a little bit longer because anyway, it means like what cute or adorable, and it's started by like teenagers. It's been around for quite some while. This style, I think, like Hello Kitty and all this cute stuff, I think is kind of part of that. But I think a lot of the characters are drawn in such a way where their face might look kind of young, but the character, but that doesn't mean because they're drawing things cutesy, kind of, like anime is like inspired by Disney. So
anime is too abstract to really put in the detail without being like, well, we gave the person, laugh lines and crow feet and forehead wrinkles, so now you can tell that they're older. An anime character, you either look like you're 8, you're 18, or you're 75.
Yeah, and it's kind of confusing for me to even grasp this concept of lolly and how that differs from a regular anime character, because they all kind of, because a lot of the characters just are very
but
to begin with.
The thing with lolly is the same. It's the same with anything else. Wait,
I sent you a private message.
Okay, the thing with lolly is like
I got it, Diana.
You got it too?
Yeah, I don't know if it's actually private.
Oh,
it might just
anyway.
Yes, I can post that.
So post that for Jace. This is you guys. This is Jace's new Instagram page. As you guys know, he is going to school for art and all things art. I don't know exactly what the specifics are, but check it out.
It's an art education degree, but the program I really want, they only offer undergrad full day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really in it for the art, but I have a background in education, and that would be a financially responsible decision as much as I'd much rather try to find a breakout role in art somewhere. Mm-hmm. So that Instagram right now is all old stuff that I'm reposting. I went through my phone and my Gmail and some photos I had. And I was just going to post all 44 of them, and Kay was like, you should probably roll those out a little bit at a time.
She's a smart lady, yep.
Yeah, so
people can appreciate him better. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, So I figure I can show off some stuff I did before. Just kind of vaguely throw out there.
You can probably share your screen, you know.
Me?
Yeah, do you see a share screen?
I'm sure there's one. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah. I might have to approve it. I've never had a guest do it before, but you should be able to do it.
Oh, I don't know which one's screen 1 and which one's screen 2.
Oh, you got to pick it out. See how it says like when you hit it.
There.
Hang on. Yeah, you got to pick out like share screen and then Chrome browser. Yeah, there it is. Okay.
It's nothing fancy. I started with the joke one because I was at Planet Fitness one day, and so there's various pieces from the
So
year.
I like a lot of these. These are really cool.
These are all really old.
Yeah, but the Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
That's from when I lived with Kyle. We used to draw every weekend together, so this was one of those sketchbook things.
Very nice.
They have little stories too about where they came from. So I've got a backlog of things to upload to this, and then I'll be creating new stuff as I go through class and just drawing stuff that I'm interested in anyway.
So the ultimate goal will be to have a studio? Is that your ultimate goal?
What do you mean?
Well, when we talked, I remember you mentioned maybe getting a studio along with your sibling.
Oh yeah. I have to figure out how Krista and I can open an art studio and start teaching classes and bringing,
Jace, that would be
kids
awesome.
in the summer and adults for paint nights. And
you are the one person that can motivate her. You know this, right?
I've already talked to her about it. I was like, so now that I'm on the right track, I got to pull you in. And she was like, that would be so good. I need to find my style again.
She does. She needs somebody like you to pull her in. Get that little baby sister of yours. Drag her by her hair.
Yeah, and I need a great illustrator so I can ride her coattails.
Exactly, right?
Hey, I
love it.
I'm gonna tell you guys something. Great illustrations are just a matter of practice. I have been hitting some stuff lately. I can't even believe I drew it myself. Like when I get done it, I look at it and I'm like, mofo, except for that one thing that's way out of proportion. Everything else looks great. And I go fix the one thing. But the point I'm trying to make is, and I'm sure Jace can testify to this, I know Terry can, the more you go, the better it's going to get. And when you make one of those quantum jumps, it feels like you just discovered a new superpower.
I totally get that.
I know you do.
The thing is, too, I always used to try to draw from imagination. I felt like references were cheating, which is, I realize more and more is stupid.
Yeah.
But my professor has worked in, professional game art industry stuff. He was telling us about how he did a bunch of stuff for World of Warcraft and Blizzard and THQ back in the day. And he was like, yeah, a lot of the guys out in the professional field, they all just trace stuff. And it was heartbreaking. But then I was like, oh, well, I'm comparing my art to somebody who takes a photo and traces over it and then edits features on it.
Right.
While I'm trying to do it from memory without a
Any
reference.
kind of
So here's what I've reconciled down to. I look at John Byrne, my comic book hero, and I know he used. Hang on one second. Hi, Bogus Plumber. I know that he used references, but he didn't trace, and you can tell because it's a very characterized style, which is what I'm shooting for in the long run. I want to have a characterized style, not a photographic style. Hey, Bogus Plumber, I didn't mean to be rude. How are you?
How are you guys doing?
Very well.
We're doing great.
Good.
That's
Glad
great.
you could join us.
So, I've got a comic idea I want to run past you.
Okay.
Sure.
It features Jesus, and
Amen.
Jesus wants to be transgender.
Okay.
All the apostles are telling him not to do it, but Jesus just waves his hands and it's gone.
Right.
And he's a woman.
Okay.
He didn't have to do anything with his hair because he's already got long hair.
Right.
No,
So that's an idea.
What do you think?
Well, I wouldn't be my comic. I wouldn't read it, and I wouldn't draw it. I wouldn't write it.
Yeah, not my understanding of Jesus, but
if you could pull it off, it would be probably an interesting comic book.
Are you sure?
And
His
I'm
name
sure
isn't
there would be an
Jesus?
audience. What's that?
Are you sure his name's not Jesus?
Yeah, well, you never know.
You could change it to Jesus. And when you really think about it, Jesus is both male and female, so you could kind of get away with that.
No, Jesus is all male. You're talking about like the spirit that has no sex,
Well,
right?
yeah, hello.
Okay. But
I
Jesus,
didn't think I had to explain that, but
and God the Father, like most Christians don't believe he's anatomically male. I think maybe like the Mormons might.
They're all confused. Trust me, when Jesus stood up and had to pee, he stood up and peed.
Bogus plumber. I think
Jesus
that's
didn't go to the toilet. That's sacrilege.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't have toilets, so he had to remember John the Baptist was teaching
in a toilet.
him how to,
I don't think so.
No,
So
John
you
the
don't think
Baptist.
Jesus...
No, John the Baptist was teaching them to shovel a hole to do their deeds and then go wash themselves to be clean.
All right.
That was all part of the Jewish culture back then. So Jesus would have been digging holes and pooping in the desert.
Well, what about being born in a manger? Did that make him a furry?
Listen, this poor guy came in and asked for an opinion.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Bogus.
And now you went into how he actually
I know. I'm
did
sorry.
it.
I'm
Stop.
sorry, but
This is why we end our show at 9.
In my opinion, I don't think that would be a comic I would be interested in. But if you did pull it off, it would probably there would be an audience, and it would definitely be an interesting read. I'm sure.
Yeah, I think there would be an audience for that. What about if Jesus? What about could Jesus be a furry? Would that be sacrilegious, or would the whole manger thing go?
Well, the whole thing would be sacrilegious, but you're not trying to deal with religion. You're trying to share a story you feel about Jesus, so it would be between you and God.
No, I'm not saying it like him being transgender. I'm just saying.
No, I know.
If Jesus was a furry, because John Darrell Rose has a book where there's
you can't compare Jesus to the furries. I mean, look what happened at that furry-con when they were all thrown out the hotel for smoking drugs and blocking up the toilets.
Oh,
remember that? It got cancelled.
No, I didn't know that at all.
That's a sad story.
Yeah, if you're a furry, you know about it because it's bloody infamous what they got up to in that hotel.
Jack Horseman, and I'm a green lizard guy.
One of those things that they try to hide every year.
I don't know anything about any of this stuff.
Market for me.
No, this is true. We had a furry con, right? And they were all degenerate.
I dressed as a squirrel once.
And they're not allowed to have this furry con anymore.
That's a great story.
That was creepy. Diana did. She dressed as Squirrel Girl, and some of the people that were coming around with their kids were like, "Is your wife a furry?" And I'm like, "No,
that's awesome.
no."
I got asked if I was a furry, and I said, "Well,
you be nice to this population. They might commission me someday."
Absolutely, amen.
Yeah, I like a lot of furry art.
Hey, we might commission you someday, Jace.
I was thinking of doing some Faith Plus One illustrations. And
well,
seeing
I have
if people
commissioned
got it as a joke or took it seriously.
Wait, guys,
I have to go. Thanks for having me because I'm going to go and buy some pencils. But,
all right.
God bless you, Bogus.
Thanks for stopping
See you again.
So, Jace, I have commissioned you. We have to work out the pricing, and I have to see what you've done so far.
Yeah.
My little story.
Hey, speaking of done, do you have the iPad Air yet?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be here in 2 weeks.
Wow, that long?
Or did you order it?
I ordered it. I ordered my pencil. I threw in a keyboard since I'm ordering stuff anyway.
Yep. Good for you, honey.
I still love my dog, even though he's an asshole.
The puppy did it? I didn't know what happened. Could your dad
I brought the dog out to go pee for the third time in a row that morning, and he shit in the house anyway, and he didn't go pee that time. And then I had been drawing this morning, so I set it down on the coffee table to bring him out. He likes to steal socks, so my socks for work later were on the table with all my stuff because I was like, I'm just going to draw a little before work. He decided he was going to jump on the coffee table to try to steal the socks, but he knocked my iPad over.
Oh, no.
I found it face down on the floor, and I was like, oh, please no. And then there it was. So he's very apologetic. I've gotten lots of kisses. His ears have been back all day.
It's funny how they know, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Immediately he was like, oh, I wasn't supposed to take that sock or break that thing.
Whoops.
Yeah. But I've been talking about getting a new one for a year. So I was like, well, this is the excuse I needed.
It's your excuse.
Well, I am really relieved because I was trying to figure out a way. I'm like, we haven't gotten Joe Biden's check yet, but...
No, I've got my Apple Card, and I have the student slightly lower pricing. So I was like, I'll throw it on my Apple Card.
Yeah, just pay it off when you can.
No, I was trying to figure out a way to get you the 12.9 here, but Now I don't
No,
have
I'm
to
not
worry
even
about
sure
it.
I'm happy going up to a 10.9. I was like, that's so big. What am I going to do with a piece of
No,
tech
like
that large?
I look at my iMac, which is a 21 inch, and I'm like, why can't you beat an iPad? Why
I've
can't
always
you?
felt like my 9.7 was perfect, but they
No,
don't make
I
it.
want like a 17 inch. That's my dream.
Yeah, he's not getting it.
But I take mine out places too. Like I go and bring
Yeah,
it
that's
to.
true too.
I do too.
No, you
Well,
don't. You're not even
you don't
working
leave.
yet.
No,
Ever.
that's not true. I take
He
it to
doesn't go
school.
anywhere.
By the way, everybody, I return to work tomorrow. I have officially been cleared for COVID-free work environment.
I go back next Monday, so I have a couple more days at home, but
Which
I'm
is kind of
feeling
weird.
good
I don't even know how that works out.
because I didn't start my symptoms until a couple days after you.
This whole COVID thing is weird
You know what
because
I mean? Like I started I think Monday
the
night.
other thing that's weird is they
and
told
all
me
I had
that
was a cold.
they told us we'll test positive for up to 2 months after this.
Yep.
Yeah.
So like, okay, so let's say next week I develop a fever and a runny nose. Obviously I would stay home because of the fever, but does that reignite the whole, okay, I have COVID now and I have to
Chances
be...
are that's not going to be COVID.
Well,
right?
yeah, because you've already built antibodies if you're not dead.
Unless you have a variant.
Or sure, if you get a variant, but if you get
Two or three
severe
strains
symptoms
of
again, then they're going to tell you consult a doctor, and if a doctor feels like you're really contagious, they're going to tell you isolate just to be safe.
Well, that almost becomes like the thing. Like, okay, if I come down with a form of a flu or a form of a fever, rather, next Monday, they would have to send me home and say, okay, come back when you've been fever-free for 24 hours.
Yep.
But there's no way to know truly if that's COVID unless the strain is so extreme that it tests differently.
Yeah,
it's
I
just
think
weird.
my-
It's like, this is really... I
think
don't
they're
know. I'm
pretty
very
related,
thankful
aren't
and
they?
grateful I didn't get it worse than I could have. Like, I know people that have... we've all heard about people dying. Diana had an aunt that recently died from it.
Yeah, I'm really sorry to hear that. Well, that's the thing. Is like some people get it and they don't
But
even
she
know
had
they have it, and some
she
people
had a
get
lot
really
of
serious.
she had underlying health issues, a lot, like not just
Yeah,
one. She
that's
had
true
many.
too. That is true
So
too.
I mean, I hate when you say, "Oh, she died because of COVID." Well, COVID sort of set her over the edge, but she had
I know
pulmonary disease,
it's that
diabetes,
weird
high
thing that gets
blood
people
pressure,
all worked up. Like,
cardiac.
how
So
many
that's the
deaths?
thing with the statistics, right?
Yeah.
Well,
That's what you're saying?
yeah, but I mean, in her case, no. What she's saying is, she probably would have died if it wasn't COVID. Like, she could have caught the common cold and probably would have died with all
Well,
the
that's
other
where the
complications.
argument over the statistics is, because there's always like a lot of these conspiracy theories about, oh, this guy was this mortician was saying such and such that they were writing people down that died of COVID, but they really died of this. But I think it's probably a lot more common that maybe there's like these comorbidities. Is that? Like, gosh, I can't pronounce it.
Yeah, I've heard the comorbidity thing.
Yeah. So it's like if you have some sort of other thing, this can make it a lot worse.
Yeah, it can amplify it.
Yeah. So I think that's probably what's so
Of
difficult
course.
of it is,
Although I have to tell you guys, I was kind of thrilled and confused and scared and mixed up emotions about Texas. I hope it goes great. I'm a little worried for them. It's kind of like, okay,
Me
they're
too.
stepping out of the mask restrictions. So they're basically pulling a Florida. It could be catastrophic or it could be wonderful. It all depends on how this all plays out. But
so
that's the thing with COVID. Like, I never got sick enough to where I needed hospitalization. But for 3 nights, I worried whether or not I should go to sleep because I didn't know if I'd wake up. I was that sick. And that's kind of like with all the negative coverage of COVID. That's one of the things that I think comes through when you have it and you're in the worst parts of it. You're like, wow, who knows? I've heard of 500,000 plus people who have died from COVID or at least COVID related issues.
I was only ever really worried when I got up to like a 103 fever, and I was like, well, that's never good.
I hit that too, and I was terrified because our thermometer is freaky. I think that it registers 2 degrees less than it should. And so when I saw 103, I thought, is this 105?
Did you see
I got scared because Jay said
that's like kind of like the I ever compared them to the scanners on Star Trek Next Generation, where they like those. What do they call those? Those handheld scanners.
In the tripods.
Oh, the tripods. Yeah.
Tricorder.
Tricorders. Yeah.
Well, we have the no-touch thermometer, which is one of the reasons I don't like it. I think it needs to be calibrated, and it's only like a CBS model. We're lucky to have that. Because when our original thermometer died, which was something we had since you were in high school, Jace. Mm-hmm. But when we finally put that one to bed, she got another one, I think, through Amazon. And it looks great. I've seen nurses with it, but
it works fine.
But we don't have something right with it because we're always, when we're normal, we're at like 96. Factor.
You're at what?
We're at like 96.
Well, some people run a little bit lower too.
It's called the dad factor. I keep telling them it's hidden.
Yeah, I don't think everyone is exactly a standard 97.8.
They're not.
It's 98.6.
Yeah, there's
whatever it is.
Well, because so at the hospital, it's good though that they do have those kind of thermometers. If you don't want to be like a bunch of people using. It would take too long too. So what they do is they scan me when I go to like say a doctor's office.
Yep.
That's somehow affiliated with the hospital.
Yep.
They kind of.
Yeah, that's what ours is. You just kind of hold it up about a half an inch from the forehead and it goes beep. And okay, thank you, sir. Only it's in our kitchen and it's me, and I usually don't call myself sir. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's
I love the thermometer myself.
If they really wanted to be, careful, they could, the greeter at like Walmart would start scanning people, but that might piss off too many people.
Well, I can tell you when we were preparing to open the school for the first time after the initial lockdown, it was considered, and we were looking at heat sensors that would pick up body heat as they were walking in, and every morning it was going to need to be calibrated. And so if a kid gets off a bus that's been heated to 102 degrees in the air or something, like it's supposed to detect fever versus, all that. And after so many quotes, and it was going to cost six figures, and they wanted it at two entrances so the kids could get in faster, blah, blah, blah. They finally decided, let's not waste all this money on that. Because that wasn't enough of a factor, and it wasn't reliable enough. The wave of up and down on how everybody's average would be different would be very impossible to see. All you'd really notice is wow, that kid was 107. Let's take a look at him. But everybody else would kind of blur into a sea of 96 to 98 something. And
that's interesting. I've heard though. I mean, I had read that it sounded like it was okay to reopen the schools, and now I'm hearing that oh gosh, it's confusing. The kids spread the virus quite, and
there are still two views on it. There's one that says let them go, and there's another one that says slow and steady. There's a big push in Massachusetts right now for everybody in education to get vaccinated. So they'll have that on their side at least. They're actually opening up the vaccines. But other places, I know Joe Biden has said that he wants an emphasis on reopening, and other places have just done it. I don't think Florida has ever closed, but I don't know. They may have closed in spots. But Florida's been pretty much wide open.
South Dakota's never closed.
Yep, South Dakota's another one that never closed.
I know Sweden. They had places. Their businesses were open, but they had more social distancing within the business. But it sounded like then a lot of their old people got sick, and then they had to reverse their policy.
Well, the real question is did we actually save anybody, or did we lose about the same amount of lives that we lost the year before when COVID wasn't in existence? And I don't know those numbers. I think I would like to see them compared.
Oh, some of the governors actually, like Cuomo, sent the people, made the nursing homes accept COVID patients, allegedly.
Cuomo, he did some nasty
being investigated,
stuff.
And it sounds like a lot of people may have died, if this is true.
Oh, no, it's true. It's just whether or not they're going to be able to do anything with it, or whether or not they're going to go, well,
I'm saying that I believe in due process, so you need to, this is part of the thing I have a problem with these channels with when we were talking about earlier with people, somebody saying this guy is pedo and he needs to be smeared from society. This is all happening like a mob rule style thing.
Well, I think to smear anybody from society, I said this earlier too. I think that's a mistake. You can't help someone if you've smeared them out of existence. It's kind of like one thing I hate when I see my extreme right wing friends get casted as Nazis, and like I hear people say, "Well, we're going to cancel you and forever." Blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's fine, but then you leave someone out as a nomad somewhere, like you don't give them a pathway back to grow into a better person.
And the same thing.
Well, then you leave them on the fringes where they're only going to be accepted by the actual extremes, and it's like, well, who do I have to turn to now? The literal Nazis,
right?
Well, what about like if somebody's being smeared as a communist by the right, and I've seen that as well, and I've been smeared as both a communist and a Nazi.
Well, I mean, like I
believe, and now today I was called a doxer.
Oh, there's my grandpuppy. Oh my goodness, look at you. Hi, honey.
Hi.
Oh wow.
Hi, baby. Look at how big he's gotten.
It's the iPad breaker.
Puppy.
He's so good at breaking.
Yeah, I'm the iPad breaker. Oh, buddy, I can't wait to meet you face to face and love on you.
He's getting big. He's already 40 pounds.
Oh my gosh, how old is he now, Jace?
4 months.
He's only 4 months. You guys are so much in trouble. He is.
I was telling Kay, I hope he gets another 10 pounds for every month of his first year.
He probably will. What kind of a dog is he again? What kind of a dog is he again?
He's a pit bull bulldog.
He's beautiful. I love him.
He probably won't be tall, but maybe he'll be muscular.
Oh, he'll certainly have a good muscle.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be muscular. Do you guys walk him at all? Strong. Does he get walks and stuff? Do you walk him?
He does. He's not great at it. He's
still kind of gawky and like goofy puppy like.
So he's a scaredy cat. So when he hears other dogs, he like panics and tries to run home.
Really?
I'm working really hard on getting him to walk by my side and not try to sprint home when we hear another dog in their yard.
Oh my God. Yeah. If he meets Tiny, will traumatize him because Tiny barks at everything. Oh,
yeah,
dear
and
Lord.
I don't think he doesn't have like a violent bone in his body, so I think he'll literally probably hide from her and be afraid.
Well, if you had Chloe in the environment as well, though, and if Chloe was feeling up to it, she would tell them both to shut the F up.
That Chloe is sick, right? Jace, do you know that Chloe is sick?
Yeah, Krista told me. She gave me an update, but
she's on a sort of like a fluid thing called fluorescimide, which is a lot of people with heart conditions. She's got a lot of fluid around her heart, and it's nothing that we did or didn't do. It's just she's 12, 13 years old now. She's an older dog.
Conditions.
So my poor little baby girl, my chunky little girl, she wouldn't even walk today. She just sat. Looked at me like, yep, we're just not doing this. Meanwhile, Tiny wanted to run up the road. But he's beautiful.
Yeah, very nice. I'm very proud of you, son. Good choice.
Speaking of the beautiful boy, I got to bring him up to bed soon.
Yes, I have to go to bed too.
Yeah, we have to.
Mom texted me that he was freaking out because he can hear me but couldn't see me. So.
Aww.
Yeah, we got to cut the stream. I'm going back to work tomorrow, so I have to get to bed soon.
Yep.
But does anybody have anything they want to promote? I know.
Yeah, find me a new salary job in an art field that I'll enjoy instead of.
So Blade is looking for live commissions. Contact him and discuss your project today.
Yeah, I don't know pricing yet, so we'll work that out together because I've never
negotiable.
Yeah.
Negotiable.
Something like that.
So funny.
I know Lorenzo's got something to
Oh yeah, tune in tomorrow night, 8 Eastern. For the Sleestackians variety show. I just call it Sleestackians now. And we've got 200 subs today. So
woohoo! All right, Lorenzo.
Yeah, it's been growing.
So
awesome. I've gotten a lot of help from these people, these stalkers who are imitating me.
Right.
They go around and they respond to my friends and pretend they're me. Well, when they do that, I go and tell them to subscribe to my channel. So
good for you.
So what about Terry? He's been quiet. Are you still around, bro?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Promote something.
He's been quiet because he hasn't been able to say anything because you and Lorenzo have been talking the whole time.
No, actually, I'm still congratulating myself.
For what?
For getting Diana to do something that she really enjoys.
So Terry has encouraged me to start drawing, Jay. So you should see some of the little things that I'm doing. They're little doodles. They're just doodles. I'm
Yeah, let me
actually
know when you
looking
start
at.
your art Instagram.
Yeah, right. I am using, believe it or not, I bought Krista when she was about 8 years old, a comic books, how to draw comic books, how to draw comic strips rather. And it's
Yeah,
a little book.
they're cartoony stuff, not
It's
like
cartoony. It's just
superheroes.
line drawing. It's so cute. And so I've been
Right.
using that with my iPad to draw like little guys and little figures and stuff like that. And one of these days I'll put it up on Facebook and people can look at them and laugh. But it's what I'm doing. And I like it. Actually, I'm going to do that now. I'm going to go sit down and put something on TV and draw a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not drawing in bed tonight because last night I ended up staying up until 12:30. And
was your major?
What's that?
What I was talking about was your major.
Oh, I changed my major into creative writing.
Yes.
Yeah, I did. I started my first course this week. I love it. I have to write.
I got to figure out how to just make my major art.
I noticed that you were happy with your former major.
Yeah. I am much happier with this major, and Jace, you will get there.
And Jace, we'll have to sit down and I'll have to suck off some of your educational fortitude and learn some of the techniques you're learning and stuff.
Yeah, it's
because I totally suck when it comes to our education, and like I would totally love to leech off what you're learning.
There's a lot of good stuff. I like my professor a lot. He recommended good books, but it's much more helpful for me to talk to somebody who's experienced and can walk you through their process. And he does live critiques of our work, which is great because he just pulls it into Photoshop and he'll show you how he would edit the piece to make it, a little better. And with just a few simple lines and some change of tone and values here and there, I'm like, holy shit, there, it's good when you do it.
That's awesome.
Well, that's kind of like in coloring. I'm learning a lot of little tricks. And you can take, well, this from just looking at manga and anime. Well, manga not so much as black and white mostly, but you look at anime and you can take a very simple line drawing, and with the right coloring, you can enhance it to the point where it's like, wow. It all depends how much you want to put into that coloring.
You got to do the hue adjustment too.
I don't understand that. You'll have to explain it to me.
Yeah, we can go through it someday. I really want to take an actual color theory class instead of just like picking up tidbits here and there. But
a lot of schools don't offer color theory. That's the problem.
What's that?
A lot of schools don't offer color theory. That's the problem.
Yeah, and even the color theory that I've heard about from my college is like when you're in the graphic design program, like the logo making class, they'll be like, oh, and by the way, a little bit of color theory, but
let's talk about complementary colors and secondary colors, and look how they match.
The hue adjustment is really just, hold on, before I go to bed, let me pull up A-Sprite. I'll show you in there. If you don't mind me sharing my screen again.
Not at all. I'm just waiting on it to pop up.
I had to find the program. Okay. Oh, geez. Oh, where'd he go? All right. Did you come back, Dad?
Yes, I did.
Okay. You see A-Sprite?
Yep.
So the whole hue adjustment thing is just... I don't remember my hotkeys. If I'm doing like a grass, right?
Yep.
When I go to lighten this grass, the way a lot of people might do it, is this the one I'm looking for? Is just to literally increase the value and make it a lighter green. I didn't do that right. But instead of just cranking up the green, you might want to lighten it up a little bit and then move it towards a warmer color. So it kind of gives more of the impression of the light going through it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure I'm not explaining this well because I'm not an art teacher yet, but same thing when you're going darker, you want to do a darker value, but also move towards a cooler tone. And it just makes your colors have a lot more life than keeping the value flat or adjusting the value and keeping the hue flat.
Right. Okay.
That's like when I do skin tones on people, I don't just do like my peach color and then my peach color a little bit darker. I'll add in a little red to it.
Yep. Actually, I think I might be doing that automatically because what I've started to do was I was watching basically oil painting and watching traditional artists mixing the paints and stuff, and then trying to apply that same concept. So I started off with a very flat base, say, but by the time I build it up to the darkest to the lightest, I'm trying to get that, oil painted look, and it's getting closer. I haven't shown anything yet because it's still rudimentary.
All right. My dog is ringing his outside bell.
Yeah, get out of here.
I'm gonna be rude. I gotta run. I gotta make sure this dog doesn't pee.
I'm leaving too.
I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.